Hello, everyone. My name is Linda Norwood, and I am one of the pre-K specialists with the Department of Early Care and Learning.
Hello, my name is Whitney Farley, and I'm an infant toddler specialist with the Department of Early Care and Learning.
We welcome everyone to today's information session on the Pyramid Model Training Series for early childhood leaders and teachers. This series of training sessions is brought to you through a collaboration of the Practice and Supports Division and Georgia's Pre-K Division with the Department of Early Care and Learning. We are excited to bring this training series to you all. Today, we're going to spend some time giving you all the information on this exciting opportunity. So, why are we here? Well, our focus in sharing this information with you is to increase your knowledge in regards to social emotional learning through the pyramid model framework. We know that the past few years have been a challenge for children, early care professionals, and families. In recognition of this, DECAL's leadership is committed to providing professional development opportunities to support you and the children and families you serve each day. Speaking of challenging behavior, take a look at this picture. Look how frazzled this teacher is. Can you help me, Miss Martin? This wasn't covered in any of my education courses. While challenging behavior is reported to be a big challenge for early care professionals, it is not always something that is taught in professional development opportunities for adult education. This opportunity will provide teachers with the following: additional support with challenging behavior in their classroom, support with setting developmentally appropriate expectations for the children in their class, navigating some of the unintended aspects and impact of COVID, specifically when it comes to social skills, challenging behavior, and trauma. Lastly, support for both yourself or the children you work with so you can have an easier and brighter school year. Now let's take a look at an overview of Pyramid Project. This professional development project on the pyramid model was created in response to a study by the Urban Institute released in the summer of 2022. The study found that childcare programs and workers cited being able to manage challenging behaviors would be a support and would help them stay in early care and learning. One of the recommendations from the Urban Institute's report is to support providers in taking care of children's social emotional needs. 61% indicated they needed support with managing challenging behaviors. This support, combined with children's social emotional development, are instructional resources that would help them keep working in childcare. In response to Urban Institute stakeholder research, one of the recommendations was to support providers in fostering children's social and emotional growth. In response to that recommendation, DECAL has piloted and now offers the Pyramid Model Training Series with early care professionals on a regular basis. Those of you who are reviewing this information on this opportunity are encouraged to take notes and reach out if you have additional questions. The Pyramid Model Training Series will equip early childhood providers with knowledge around the pyramid model, a framework of evidence-based practices that foster young children's healthy social and emotional development. Specifically, educators will complete self-paced online learning modules while also attending virtual professional learning community PLC sessions, which are facilitated by DECAL's inclusion and behavior support and infant toddler specialists. The modules will provide educators with strategies for building relationships and creating supportive environments, teaching social emotional skills, and determining the meaning of behavior, as well as developing appropriate responses. The PLCs will allow educators to dive deeper into this content with a group of their peers, which is truly productive. Now let's look at the structure of the training series. The training series will occur over the course of 4 months and contain 2 parts. For part 1, online modules. During the training series, educators will complete 2 online self-paced modules. The Birth to 5 E-Pyramid module, which is 18 hours, and culturally responsive practices to reduce implicit bias, disproportionality, suspension, and expulsion for 2 credit hours. Educators will complete a portion of the modules prior to each PLC session. The second includes professional learning communities. Educators will attend 6 to 8 virtual PLC sessions lasting approximately 90 minutes to 2 hours. Each PLC will have up to 20 educators. PLCs will be held either weekly or every other week over the course of 4 months. DECAL pre-K, infant toddler, and inclusion and behavioral support specialists will facilitate the PLCs. So, why pyramid model? Now we're going to talk a little bit about what the pyramid model is and how we use it to promote social emotional development in young children. The pyramid model is a framework of evidence-based practices for promoting young children's, which includes birth to 5-year-olds, healthy social and emotional development. The pyramid model builds upon a tiered public health approach to providing universal supports to all children to promote wellness, targeted services to those who need more support, and intensive services to those who need them. At a classroom level, the pyramid model equips teachers with concrete strategies to foster children's social emotional development and decrease persistent challenging behaviors. DECAL's Inclusion and Behavior Support Unit currently utilizes the pyramid model framework to support early childhood educators in their daily work.
So let's break down the pyramid tier by tier. At the base, the model is supported at the foundation by an effective workforce here in the yellow. The effective workforce is the foundation for all of the practices within the pyramid model. These are the systems and policies necessary to ensure that early childhood educators are able to use and sustain these evidence-based practices. Professional development, like training and the PLC work we will be doing within this series, are a large part of the effective workforce's foundation. The first tier of the pyramid is universal supports for all children, which is broken down into two levels: nurturing and responsive relationships and high-quality environments. At the universal level, we include the practices needed to ensure the promotion of the social development of all children. Nurturing responsive relationships is the bottom part of this tier, which is essential to healthy social development for all people, especially our young children. These relationships include teacher-child relationships, children's relationships with other children, teacher-admin relationships with families, and team member relationships. Also within the first tier of universal supports are high-quality environments. In this level of the pyramid, there are practices like creating and teaching schedules and routines, using engaging transitions, and establishing rules and expectations that promote a healthy development. The green tier focuses on prevention approaches or targeted social emotional strategies to prevent challenging behaviors or supports for children at risk of challenging behavior. A few examples of these supports are explicit instruction and practices to encourage friendship skills, using emotional literacy materials throughout your classroom and school-wide help children to understand and express emotions, self-regulate, and develop problem-solving skills. Lastly, we have the intervention tier, which is comprised of practices related to individualized intensive interventions. This level of the pyramid model describes the need to provide interventions to the very small number of children with persistent challenges. When classroom practices and program supports are in place, the percentage of children who exhibit persistent challenging behavior is between 1% and 5%. This tier focuses on the functioning of challenging behavior and approaches to address them through family-centered, data-based assessment that is focused on skill building and supporting the child's successful participation within their learning environment. And remember that the pyramid model begins with babies. One key thing to know is that the foundation for the pyramid model really starts with our babies. If we start building this foundation with our babies, we can provide them with social emotional supports. Caregivers that use the pyramid model are identifying targeted strategies to incorporate those high-quality supportive environments and provide young children with nurturing and responsive relationships. Some of these strategies can include supporting an infant's play by being engaged in their play, responding to their cues and gestures, providing specific praise and encouragement of appropriate behavior, making sure that we have adequate materials for them, like soft materials that they need, especially around infancy, providing a balanced schedule of routines and activities, designing engaging activities as well, and so much more that they will learn. This starts at infancy, so we want our babies to receive the same amount of support as they are approaching their toddlerhood into preschool, and eventually becoming pre-K students. So now we will learn some more about the pyramid model training structure. As part of the training series, educators will take 2 self-paced online modules. Educators will be expected to complete portions of each module prior to each PLC session. The chart that you see on the screen details the modules, the content, as well as the time commitment. Since these are self-paced, they can be taken at any time that is convenient for the educator. If you would like a sneak peek, the link and QR code can be seen on the screen. We will provide those who signed the agreement with the access information several weeks prior to the first PLC session. There will be professional learning communities that will begin in February. There are 3 options to choose from. The dates and times for each PLC session are listed in the participant information document emailed to you. When you complete the intent to participate form, you will have the opportunity to indicate your preferred dates and times. You should indicate your preference on the intent to participate form sent to you via email. There will be an introductory PLC session where you will meet your facilitators and go over the expectations and information about the training. DECAL Inclusion and Behavior Support Specialists and Infant Toddler Specialists will facilitate the professional learning communities and will be your main point of contact following registration. DECAL has learned that there are a lot of teachers and children that can benefit from pyramid model practices, which is why we want to cast a broader net with a lighter touch. Over the next 2 years, leaders and teachers will take online modules combined with PLCs facilitated by DECAL, which will consist of practices to increase teacher skills in fostering young children's social emotional development and decrease potential challenging behaviors. Let's take a look at some of the benefits to participating in this training series. Educators will receive a $300 stipend upon completion of the training series. $175 to purchase supplies that support social emotional development through Lakeshore. 12 Bright from the Start credit hours will be given for the PLC sessions attended, and 20 Bright from the Start credit hours for module completion. The projected schedule for participation in the Pyramid Model Project begins with baseline observations conducted by a specialist for the purpose of data collection. During the baseline observation, a specialist will come to the program and complete an observation which will last approximately 2 hours. This information will be utilized by the research team contracted with DECAL. More information on how to start the project will be shared with each participant via email prior to February of 2025. This is when the self-paced modules and the PLCs will begin. The modules and PLCs will be scheduled out through April of 2025. In March, the participants will be eligible to purchase social and emotional materials. Once materials are purchased and the modules and PLCs are completed, each program will have an endpoint observation conducted by a specialist. So who can participate in the pilot? A school district or childcare program can select up to 10 teachers to participate in the educator series beginning in January. An educator includes any individual serving in the following roles. Participant responsibilities include participation and feedback and evaluation. Educators are expected to fully participate in the training series by completing the online modules and engaging in the virtual professional learning communities. As part of the program, DECAL is partnering with an external evaluator, Child Trends, to gather feedback about the training series. Participating educators will have the opportunity to provide feedback on the design and model of the training series through both focus groups and surveys. Now that you have learned about this great opportunity to increase social and emotional learning in your program, we have some items for you to complete. First, complete the intent to participate form no later than October 18th, 2024. DECAL will then assign you to a PLC cohort, and you will be contacted by a specialist that will schedule your baseline observation. Your assigned facilitators will also connect with you via email and send out additional information about accessing the online modules and attending the PLC. Thank you for attending this information session. We hope that this has been helpful as you begin your Pyramid Model PLC journey with DECAL. If you have any questions, please send an email to pssinfo@decal.ga.gov.